Hi and welcome to the top 10 best sub-archetypes in Ishanekon World Shapers. I am Blaze Reason, creator of Ishanekon World Shapers, the probably biggest free indie tabletop RPG out there with over 2,000 character options. This game has 200 sub-archetypes and more are coming. But which ones are the best? Let's lay some ground rules. With the best, I mean my personal favorites, because the word best is pretty subjective, let's be honest. And the second rule is only one sub-archetype of each archetype. So we have a clean list where every archetype is represented. So follow me as we dive into my favorite sub-archetypes. Let's go. Number 10. The Ranger of the Nature archetype. I am a big fan of martial characters that fight with elementally imbued weapons, and the Ranger helps you achieve just that. They specialize in control maneuver effects that they use on their weapons, being able to put additional effects on them, like elemental status effects. So how about imbuing that precision attack with burning, or that trip attack with poison, giving you a lot of control flexibility. Also, their starting feature allows them to wield any weapon with instincts, giving them far more flexibility with weapon choice, and granting maneuver abilities that they use on weapon attacks an additional 1d6 on the attack roll, ensuring that those controlling effects of your weapon hit, making them one of the best martial control characters in the entire game. Speaking of stacking status effects, number 9. The Techno Mage of the Technology archetype. The Techno Mage specializes in the Enhanced by series of lesser talents, which allow you to modify your abilities with additional effects. It grants you a lot of those lesser talents and makes them more efficient, starting with reducing their costs and granting them additional effects, especially if you combo them. This, for example, allows you to shoot an net that grabs the enemy, burns them, electrifies them, poisons them, freezes them, and starts dissolving them at the same time. At higher levels, it can get really ridiculous how much effects you can stack on a single ability. No other sub-archetypes allows you to customize your abilities to exactly what you want them to do to this degree. Number 8. The Anomaly of the Reality sub-archetype. We had Control Chaos with the Techno Mage. Now we have Random Chaos with the Anomaly. You get to pick a list of 12 abilities which you can learn that you do not necessarily know actually, and whenever you use an ability, you roll a d10. If you roll a 10, you trigger a random ability from that 12 ability list, fully upcasted without any ability point costs. If you're lucky, there are few sub-archetypes that have so much raw power as the Anomaly. But if you get unlucky, nothing happens. And since you can manually pick which abilities goes on their list, you can make a lot of different types of anomalies. You can just pick random abilities from all categories for truly unexpected effects. You can focus on damage, making him a very explosive damage dealer. You can build him around support, or maybe random buffs, which by the way, if you trigger a buff through the Anomaly, they do not count towards your buff limit. Or maybe you want to randomly summon all types of creatures. The Anomaly allows you to have customizable random fun. Especially in the early phases of the game, the Anomaly was a favorite of many players for all the unexpected fun scenarios you can end up in. Number 7. The Preacher of the Creative sub-archetype. I am a big fan of characters that inspire other characters. And the Preacher does just that. Every day you can make an encouraging speak to your allies, which grant them extra temporary vitality and courage charges, which they can use to boost the damage of their weapon attacks or upcast their abilities for free, allowing them to be more powerful than normal. Later on, you can apply courage charges whenever you use support abilities on your allies. I'm just gonna be honest, I really like the flavor of this one. The idea of helping others with the power of your words, allowing them to push themselves to become a better version of themselves. I just like that. It's uplifting in a way. And number 6, the Channeler of the mental archetype. The channeler is what you get if you turn the barbarian into a pure caster. They cast mighty buffs on themselves and then channel the power of that buff into their abilities, which could be damage abilities, it could be healing abilities, control, summon, whatever you like. There are few casters that can reliably put out as much firepower in any category as the channeler, as the cost of burning quickly through their willpower as they channel all their power in a few mighty blasts. I really love the idea of giving it your all, not holding back, going all out, and maybe at the cost of your own well-being. Speaking of at the cost of your own well-being, number 5, Exploder of the Demolition Archetype. One of the few characters I actually got to play was an Exploder. What do? Well, you can deal a lot more damage with abilities that can hit multiple targets if you also hit yourself, making for an extremely high-risk, high-reward damage type where you throw yourself in the middle of the enemies and just trigger massive explosions. It is also very fun to combine with the lesser talent rocket jumping, which allows you to catapult yourself through the entire battlefield. It's a really fun build where you need to be really careful to not knock yourself out. But if everything goes right, you can deal devastating damage to your enemies. Number 4, the Wanderer of the Cunning Archetype. The Wanderer allows you to switch out one of the stats of your weapon with a skill, allowing for an incredible variation in flavor. And that's the main reason I love them. It's less the mechanics and more the creative ways you can come up with how your skills support your weapon attacks. You could go with something simple, like raw force, just representing that you hit the enemy really, really hard. Or quick fingers, that you maneuver your blade quickly around. Or you can get a bit more creative. How about computers having built-in software into your weapons that help you target your enemies? Or psychology, where before every attack you make a yo mama joke, devastating the mental capabilities of your enemy to such a degree that your weapon attacks hit harder. And remember, there are 33 skills, so you can really get creative with this one. Number 3, the Underdog of the Unarmed Archetype. And remember how I said with the channeler that I love characters that push themselves? The Underdog is the best manifestation of this type of character. They can massively boost the power of self-buffs on themselves, but at a cost of their buffs dealing damage to them over time. They're really great at having that sort of anime style, forbidden, dangerous technique, like the Kaioken or opening your inner gates, and I just love that flavor. Later on higher levels, it even allows you, as long as you are under the effects of a buff, to continue fighting while your vitality is in the negative, not backing down, no matter how broken your body is. I just love that. Speaking of not giving up, number 2, the Hero of the Bulwark Archetype. The hero gets stronger the worse the situation gets, starting off with granting you a massive boost to your defensive if you are outnumbered or outgunned by the enemy. Later on, you get free cinematic actions when the vitality of an ally you can see drops below half, allowing you to turn the tides of combat, and even more damage, similar to the defensive boost if you are outnumbered or outgunned. The hero becomes more powerful the more hopeless the situation is. I love that protagonist energy that they emit. On the flip side, they don't really get anything if you only encounter easy combat encounters. But to be fair, you don't really need a boost in such situations anyways. But now to my final choice. Number 1, the Leader of the War Archetype. The Leader has always been my favorite sub-archetype. Knight in shining armor, inspiring their allies by his mere presence, fighting alongside their allies, inspiring them to give it their all. Depending on which mental stat you specialize in, you can be different types of leaders. You can go with intelligence and be a tactical leader, noticing the weak spots in your enemies, buffing the offensive capabilities of your allies. or you can go with instinct, relying on your gut feeling, noticing when something bad is about to happen, being able to warn your allies and boost their defensives. Or you can go with my favorite one, charisma, inspiring your allies so they can push themselves, granting them temporary vitality so they can take more damage and continue fighting. You can do that at the start with the command action, which only takes one action point. So you can attack with one weapon attack and use the command action, which doesn't use up any resources. So you can keep inspiring your allies all day long while still contributing to the combat directly. But if you don't want that, you can use the command action 3 times and fully go into the resourceless support character that the leader can also be. They're, for me at least, number 1 and probably will be number 1 forever. So, what did you think of this list? What are your favorite sub-archetypes of Ishanekon World Shapers? You can find the entire rule set for free on the official website, link in the description below, or join our Discord community where you can see previews of content for future patches, find other games, ask questions, make suggestions, or just hang out and chill. I hope to see you around. Until next time, and have fun shaping your world. Bye!